So Trump wants to buy Greenland.
President-elect Donald Trump says he wants to wrestle ownership and control of Greenland, renewing a pledge he first made in 2019.
Well, we need Greenland for national security purposes. I've been told that for a long time.
Donald Trump Jr. just visited the territory, where locals were seen wearing MAGA hats.
Damn! So it's real? It might actually happen?
I just want to say that it's a very special place.
But to actually buy the island, the U.S. would have to first navigate a series of obstacles. Greenland, a former Danish colony, has been tied to Denmark both politically and culturally for centuries. It's hosted multiple visits from the Danish royal family and features symbolically in the crown's coat of arms. Following Trump's latest comments, Denmark's king unveiled a change to the centuries-old design.
Oh. Uh-oh. Okay, what does this mean?
Making the segment representing Greenland more prominent. Although Greenland now has powers to self-govern, the island is still bound to Danish approval on certain issues.
And Denmark maintains responsibility for national defense and security, while at the same time the Greenlandic government has responsibility and control over domestic issues and domestic resources.
So under the current framework, Trump would need to convince both the Danish government and government of Greenland to agree to a deal. But if those connections were to detangle through independence, a movement which has been gaining momentum in recent years, Trump could directly negotiate with Greenland. Some Greenlanders are welcoming Trump's interest as a way to pursue that goal.
Really? The reason why I'm skeptical that Greenland should or could or would want to join the US is because of the amount of benefits they receive from Denmark at the moment. Benefits that I don't know if the US would be willing, or the US public would be willing to offer Greenland.
That includes one of the island's most prominent online influencers.
3 things you should know about Greenland.
When I look overall, I'm happy that US is showing this much interest in Greenland, because this way we are being heard much, much more around the world. It feels like us getting the attention is speeding up our independence of Greenland from Denmark.
However, even if Greenland
Why does Greenland want to be independent from Denmark? Do the Danish just like exploit them or something?
gained independence, analysts say purchasing it is far-fetched.
This decision about Greenland is for Greenlanders. I don't believe the Greenlanders are interested in swapping one relationship with Denmark for the United States.
Plus, the government of Greenland has said it's not for sale. But if Trump did manage to make a deal, analysts say 2/3 of Congress would have to ratify a treaty before the takeover would be signed into law by the president. This process is not without historical precedent. In 1867, Andrew Johnson gained control of what is now known as Alaska from Russia in a deal which cost the U.S. $7.2 million, equivalent to around $138 million today.
Best investment ever.
The U.S. has also tried to buy Greenland before.
Sturdy deep-sea cutters of the United States Coast Guard patrol the western Greenland shores.
Following World War II in 1946, U.S. President Harry Truman offered to buy it for $100 million. Denmark refused to sell. So far, Trump hasn't floated a concrete figure for any purchase. Instead, another option he has not ruled out is taking military action.
That would be so stupid. Like, why would you do that?
Can you assure the world that as you try to get control of these areas, you are not going to use military or economic coercion?
No, I can't assure you. You're talking about Panama and Greenland. No, I can't assure you on either of those two.
Hold on. Wouldn't it be absolutely insane if in the 21st century we end up seeing the United States and Russia, the two countries who during the 19th century were enemies, or like the 20th century were enemies, become allies? Like, because, okay, think about this. if the US were to allow Russia to take over Ukraine, but in exchange the United States would take over, let's say, Greenland. Of course, I don't think that's gonna happen, but that would be unbelievable.
But I can say this, we need them for economic security.
Trump has also suggested leveraging economic policy to achieve his goals in Greenland. He's threatened to hit Denmark with tariffs if Danish officials don't cooperate with his takeover bid. Ultimately, it isn't clear how taking control of Greenland would be achieved.
The reason that the Truman administration didn't need to go forward is because NATO was created 3 years later, and that was the basis by which the United States signed in 1951 our first defense agreement with the Kingdom of Denmark, which allowed us to create our northernmost military base in northwest Greenland.
That base, which still exists today, includes a radar station that is part of the US's ballistic missile early warning system.
You know, the thought about invasion, well, we're invading ourselves. We have a base that is right there, and it's so important to the United States. And again, we have the strongest ally and partner in the Kingdom of Denmark.
Even some of Trump's advisors acknowledge a Greenland takeover is unlikely. They say instead an expansion of U.S. presence on the island through economic investments and a larger military footprint is a possibility.
And I think finally, the other option, which I think is more realistic, the U.S. could pursue a compact of free association agreements like we have with Micronesia and some of the other island Pacific nations. Right, this approach would allow the United States to expand our access and influence, but also while providing safety and security for the Greenlandic people.
Greenland
That would be for the best, if I'm being honest. The US makes investments in Greenland, and Greenland becomes like more accessible to the US. But I'm pretty sure that has already happened.
has vast deposits in rare earths, oil, and gas, also making it a focal point for other major rivals.
It makes me that's the thing. I heard about that. I heard that Greenland has oil and a bunch of minerals and stuff, but I haven't heard a lot of mining going on in that area of the world. I haven't heard about mining, I haven't heard about oil drills or anything. Why? Why go to the Middle East when there's clearly oil towards to the north?
Including China and Russia.
Greenland is quite essential for the homeland security of the United States. It has been that way certainly since the Second World War to prevent Nazi Germany from invading the United States, the Soviet Union, strategic bombers, Russian submarines. The United States has to prioritize the Arctic and making sure that we have the strongest possible defense and deterrence. We don't need to purchase Greenland to do that. We have a robust security, defense, and economic relationship with the Kingdom of Denmark. They have been open for business for quite some time. We just have to deepen that investment. It's the right thing to do, but we certainly don't have to purchase it.
I mean, that would be the kindest thing to do. Just let them be. At the end of the day, as far as I can tell, Denmark is not a world superpower. It may be wealthy, but at the end of the day, it's it, it's clinging to its foreign possessions as best it can. Just like the UK, just like France. France is cooked though, because they have land in Africa that they've been losing and more or less refusing to maintain. So, but I don't know. Greenland it definitely sounds like a cool thing the US can do, but like she said, it might not even benefit the US to the extent that many may think. But I guess we'll have to see.